And we are back, Peanut Gallery. What are we talking about?
So, obviously, everyone knows that AEW's Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor a few days ago, essentially. The contract just closed like not even a week ago at this point. And obviously, tonight we've seen a lot of different promos and stuff related to Ring of Honor.
CM Punk came out to his Ring of Honor theme, and he was in his Ring of Honor gear.
There were a lot of Ring of Honor, kind of tropes, or not tropes, but there were a lot of Ring of Honor references in the show. And so it almost makes me, kind of wonder, and there are a lot of theories going out about what Ring of Honor is going to be within the wider world of AEW. So, I think the most important thing that we should mention right away is that in looking at the actual contract with Ring of Honor that Tony Khan has signed, it actually is a separate company from AEW. So, Tony Khan has 100% control over the direction of Ring of Honor. Whereas in AEW, he has his father, Shahid, as the lead investor and a co-owner. So I think that in that context, I think that Ring of Honor is actually going to be the vision that Tony Khan wants.
Okay.
And I say that because this is his money that he spent on the purchase of Ring of Honor.
And here's the thing. People are like, well, Sinclair, but the thing is that Tony Khan actually has pride in pro wrestling.
And that's the other thing, too, is that Shahid doesn't really care all that much about wrestling. Now, he might be a fan of wrestling, and obviously he is because he has made an appearance or two, but he doesn't have the same level of passion that Tony has.
Now, here's the other thing that Tony has as well. He not only has the passion, but he's also that co-owner and co-founder.
Right.
Shahid might be the lead investor, but the day-to-day operations are controlled by Tony Khan. And the thing is with Ring of Honor is that it will almost be the same principle where Tony is Shahid in this context. He owns Ring of Honor. He owns the properties of Ring of Honor. But it will most likely be run day-to-day operationally by a different person.
Maybe. Who knows?
Well, that's only speculation from me because he has AEW to focus on. He's like, well, they just needed some money. And people who actually gave a shit about the product. Do you think Sinclair cared about Ring of Honor?
Sinclair did. That's why they sold it.
Right. They never gave a shit.
Right.
That's why they didn't bring fans back when you had packed houses everywhere else.
Right.
And they didn't.
Because they didn't care.
Right.
It would have cost them more money than it would have been for them to keep fans out.
Because they were morons and they didn't know how to promote or book wrestling.
But obviously, at the end of the day, Ring of Honor is in a very unique situation right now. Obviously. You have people now. They have Tony Khan, who has a very vested interest in a particular wrestling promotion. Just bought Ring of Honor and bought all of its properties, all of its naming rights, all of its music, all of its library, all of its fucking
all the production equipment.
Yeah, all the production equipment. And so there are a couple of theories going around as to what the ultimate vision of Tony Khan is with the purchase of Ring of Honor. So I want to kind of go over some of these. So obviously the first one is a standalone promotion. Something that is totally separate from AEW.
This is obviously the best case scenario right now because Supercard of Honor is going to be their first show in April.
This is going to be the first show that is
under the Tony Khan ownership.
So I want to talk about it because I wonder how the card is going to change.
I'm curious, and I just kind of brought this into my mind. I wonder why that was the reason why they went into hiatus. Was because they've been talking with Tony Khan for that long about the purchase.
Well, and
also they released the people from their contracts because Tony Khan put a certain amount of money on the table, and they released that money so it wasn't restricting them on, like, we need more money.
Well, again,
that's only speculation, but that makes sense to me.
Everything that we're talking about
just like WWE. Right. WWE is releasing a lot of these people for
everything we're talking about is speculation at this point.
Right.
But yes, so releasing all these superstar contracts obviously freed up a lot of money for them to be able to say, hey,
you can purchase it for that price.
Right.
Sounds like really familiar to somebody else.
And we have to consider that one of the options is quite frankly that Ring of Honor will still exist as a separate promotion.
I think it will. I
think that's most likely.
I think that is the most likely.
Okay.
Because they would not be promoting or booking a Supercard of Honor show if they weren't going to be doing that.
Well, here's the thing: is they promote a Supercard of Honor before Tony Khan bought it.
Well, once again, it goes back to my vision on then what was the point of the hiatus? I think they went to the hiatus because then they would be able to save some money. They would save some money for Tony Khan to purchase it at the price that he wanted because Sinclair just wanted to get rid of it without losing too much money.
But then why would they?
The talks were in at that time.
Right. So my point is that the Supercard of Honor was starting to be built before
the talks were already in place, even before they went on hiatus.
So with that being said, that you think that it might become just a totally separate promotion.
I think it will be. I think it will not only be
very much integrated within AEW's product line because of the fact that it's owned by the same person.
They're going to have their separate pay-per-views. They're going to have their separate shows. They're going to have their separate runtimes. I think Tony Khan purchased the Ring of Honor name because he wanted Ring of Honor to stay around because it's obviously a good place for not only for people to work, but returning from injury promotion, returning from a hiatus promotion where they're not booked as much, and also development.
So let's talk about that.
There's a couple of different positives that Ring of Honor, that purchase of Ring of Honor has for AEW without being AEW.
So let's talk about that because there are a lot of theories going around right now that Tony Khan is going to turn Ring of Honor into a developmental territory akin to NXT with WWE.
I think in a way that's kind of what's going to happen with this, but I think they're going to be
so.
I think they're going to do that with the add-on of if a superstar needs to return from injury or get into in-ring shape, they're going to go to Ring of Honor first. And then they'll go to AEW to get that ring rust off without there because that has been a big criticism of AEW as of late is that they have people who have been out for a while, they come back, they have some ring rust. I think Ring of Honor is going to be that knock off the ring rust sort of thing.
Okay, kind of like how, because. Here's
like house shows with WWE.
Right.
Ring of Honor or AEW does not do house shows.
Exactly, and I want to talk about that too because so you think that Ring of Honor might fulfill some of those requirements that they have. So not only developmental territory, but also perhaps a place where people who are injured can come back and get the ring rust off them before they go onto big TV.
Right. That's what I think. I think that's the most logical explanation.
And there have been a lot of talks about Tony Khan turning Ring of Honor into a developmental territory. And I wanted to kind of mull with that idea. Now, will it be a full developmental territory? No.
I don't think it'll be a full developmental.
There won't be any such things as like call-ups and stuff like that.
No.
And it's not going to feature exclusively young talent or anything like that. But I did want to bring that up because I think that it would be an interesting idea for AEW to have their own developmental. But I don't think that Ring of Honor really fits the bill. It doesn't fit the whole bill. It's not like exclusively a developmental, but it's a developmental.
We do not know what's going to be happening because they said that the Ring of Honor landscape was going to change. A lot of the wrestlers that were a part of Ring of Honor have signed full deals with other companies across the world.
Right.
So obviously Ring of Honor is not going to be the same coming back as it is. What's the structure going to be?
Right.
How are they going to book this? We don't know.
Right.
What we can do is what I just said of speculation. I think my assumption of what they're doing with Ring of Honor is going to eliminate a lot of AEW criticisms that a lot of people have, but then also continue that Ring of Honor legacy because a lot of stars that are in AEW right now came from Ring of Honor.
Right. And we've seen that tonight, for example.
The two people who main evented the fucking show came from Ring of Honor.
And then, of course, we can't talk about it without talking about something like a streaming service.
And that's been in the talks, too.
Yeah. And so perhaps they bought the rights. And this is something that I think that WWE has been toying with, too, is that WWE and Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling and AEW, they've been trying to buy up because promotions like Ring of Honor and promotions like promotions like Impact Wrestling obviously have very valuable tape libraries for a lot of their current superstars. Yep. And this actually is something that we did discuss many years ago when Impact Wrestling was potentially up for sale and WWE wanted to buy the Impact Wrestling brand because of the library.
Yep.
And that ultimately, fortunately, never came through. But I think that AEW bought Ring of Honor for the same purpose.
I think for the most part, yeah. I can agree with you on that. And they're going to use a property, I think, appropriately. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think Ring of Honor is definitely going to be changing a whole lot, but I don't think it's going to be changing a lot than what people are expecting this to happen.
And but do you think that's going to open up the door for a potential AEW-esque sort of streaming service?
Yes.
Where maybe they don't have their own exclusive streaming service, but maybe they have like a channel like Peacock did.
Yeah, I think that will work. I think Fight TV will be more than happy to make some sort of deal to have Ring of Honor on their shows as a regular thing.
Well, do you think it'd be Fight TV?
Fight TV too. One of the two would be really good as well. But they can also do it on their YouTube channel. Now, keep in mind, this is all speculation, but also there are a lot more streaming options nowadays than there were even back in the day. I
almost wonder if, because obviously TNT and stuff, they're part of the Turner networks. And I know the Turner networks are starting to come out with
maybe
their
that
own
will be a part of
services as well. You know, like CNN Plus, for example.
Right.
That's a Turner property that is producing their own.
CNN is a Turner property?
Yeah. At least originally it was, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But, you know, the point is that a lot of these major corporations are coming out with their own streaming properties. And so maybe AEW becomes a piece of that streaming property.
Yeah, I can see that.
Kind of like how Peacock is WWE. But the point is that AEW buys Ring of Honor for the purpose of bolstering their value as a brand.
I think that's a good one. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
And a lot of stuff that Ring of Honor owns is stuff that was never released outside of their old DVDs back in 2002, for example.
Right. They're going to refurbish that and bring that back into the limelight, which would be great because there's a lot of really good stuff. I'll be talking about that with Wrestling Lesson. But I think that's something that a lot of people are really wanting to look out for.
So what is the end game of Ring of Honor with AEW?
I think the possibilities of what they're doing with Ring of Honor are almost endless to the point of me not knowing.
Right.
And it's hard for now. I can speculate all I want.
It's hard to make a speculation on this.
Now, the obvious assumption, and I think the most logical thing that they're going to be doing is making it a farm promotion. But that's just me. Right. They could do anything with it. Tony Khan could literally say, this is the last thing of Ring of Honor, shutting it down. I don't think he's that kind of guy, but you never know. So
we never know. Right.
We don't know. I think, this is a big purchase. We haven't seen anything like this in a very long time.
Yeah, 2001.
Yeah, 2001 with WWE's buyout of WCW, where they were going to make it a separate promotion. They just flubbed it up. So it is what it is. Anyway, so when we come back, we're going to be talking about the history of dog collar matches.
Cool.